Right away, I completely disagree with it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. We are here to get into one of ESPN's latest articles grading NFL teams' off seasons. One of them, of course, being our Houston Texans, and a grade that I will say would shock some of y'all's expectations for a grade. Whether or not I agree or disagree, we'll get into it in the video, but make sure you are smashing that like button, easiest smash of your life. Go down in that comment section and let me know, how are you feeling about the Houston Texans offseason? And this is, the whole offseason, okay? We're talking draft, we're talking free agency, any moves in between. We're talking the whole entirety of it. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into the ESPN article. So here we go. We got ESPN's latest offseason article. This is coming from Steph Welder. Before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We've already passed 8.5 subscribers. We're definitely going to be there at Texans training camp as much as I can. Going to be a little tougher for me this year, but I'm going to do my best for all of y'all to give y'all all the latest Texans coverage I can do. So without further ado, let's get into grading moves, changes for all 32 teams. This came out about 5 days ago, actually, but really got the internet by storm a few days ago. The internet? People still call it the internet? Social media, excuse me, whatever. Let's get into this. The Houston Texans are on here, obviously, and as always, guys, it's a Houston Texans state of mind. I don't give a damn about anybody else. I'm going to roll with the Houston Texans, as always, as you should, because we're always swarming, and bam! Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you have a B- grade.
What?
Right away, I completely disagree with it.
Turn that some bitch sideways and stick it straight up. You can do it.
Considering what the Houston Texans have done this offseason, I think this is not a B- grade, but I'm going to give them a chance to explain themselves.
Shut up, bitch.
So here we go. Houston's going for it. Quarterback C.J. Stroud, year 2 electric rookie campaign. Texans push their chips in. All in, excuse me. It started with free agency splash to add edge rusher Daniel Hunter. 2 years, $49 million. Opposite Waj. I would have preferred to have keep Jonathan Grenard for cheaper, but adding a legitimate sack artist like Hunter is not a bad thing. So I disagree already with the beginning paragraph, I guess you can say, or statement, whatever, little excerpt. Yeah, Hunter is a legitimate sack threat, and we all know Daniel Hunter about 16 sacks. And sure, Jonathan Grenard was a little bit cheaper, but in terms of the amount of years on the contract, 4 compared to 2, you got to consider the future and Will Anderson Jr., who will be, if everything all goes well for him, if everything goes well for him in his foreseeable future, you're going to have to pay Will Anderson Jr. And I don't want to be stuck paying Jonathan Grenard when I also have to pay Will Anderson Jr. and possibly upsetting him by throwing a franchise tag his way. And I don't want that at all, nor do the Houston Texans, considering of how high they talk about Will Anderson. So with that being said, it's just not something that I necessarily agree with. I like the contract for Daniel Hunter, and I think it fits the time frame for just the present as well as the future. Continuing on, Houston's home run came in a pre-draft trade that took advantage of Minnesota's quarterback desperation, earning a future second-round pick to move down from 23 to 42 in the draft. Part was an easy win. They made a questionable choice with the profit by dealing that pick for Diggs. On the surface, was maybe defensible given Houston's timeline. When the Texans agreed to give Diggs a pay raise and shorten his contract to a 1-year deal, it became an expensive move for a 1-year rental. I kind of agree with that. I'm still not entirely sold with giving Diggs only 1 year on the contract. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I really am not. I understand people want to say that, well, having Diggs for just this year gives you the best version of Stephon Diggs. Well, why aren't we getting the best version of Stephon Diggs, regardless whether he's playing 1 year or 3 years? I should be getting the best version of him regardless. And I liked the idea of having Stephon Diggs for almost the entirety of CJ Stroud's rookie contract. That to me screams okay, we are here to swing for a Super Bowl, not just for 1 year, but for multiple years. And that's where I kind of disagreed with this idea of giving Stephon Diggs all of this front money in only 1 year. And we'll see what happens, because Stephon Diggs definitely doesn't seem like he's going to be a Houston Texan for the next year, at all, unless he just falls in love with Houston, unless we're really on the door knocking on a Super Bowl again. And then he looks and goes, hey, you know what? I'm going to just stay here. Then, hey, you know what? I'll disregard my conversation here. Similarly, Houston's initial trade for running back Joe Mixon in exchange for a 7th-round pick was fine, if not good. Texans needlessly gave him a new contract, eliminating any value relative to his contract that Mixon possessed, and then some. I have no problem with the Mixon deal. I don't really care. I mean, I needed a running back, and that's what I got. So, 7th-round pick for him. Who cares? I don't care about the money there. Houston did get a critical extension done at a value price. Collins a star. In fact, they were able to sign him to a new deal. Just $24.25 million a year. Looks like a good price compared to other top flight receiver deals. Home run, slam dunk, rock and roll, touchdown, Houston Texans. That's what I got to say when it comes to Nico Collins extension. Going forward in 2024 is the right move for Houston, though it has paid too much to do so. But this is a scary team to face, which was the goal. So the way he presents himself in this article doesn't scream B-. It screams that the Houston Texans are a scary team to face this year. And we're talking about the 2024 offseason. We're not talking about the future. We're not talking about anything else in the future. We're just talking about this 2024 offseason and how it could help the Texans in 2024. A B- is a low ball grade. There's no way this is a B-. What the Texans did this offseason is nothing short of at the very least, a B+. I give it A-. That's where I'm looking more at, is a good 90, 91. If you're looking for a score grade, that's what I'll give them. A- is perfect for me. The Houston Texans did everything they could to help CJ Stroud, to help Bobby Slowick, and to help D'Amico Ryans roster rise constructually, just making this team a very difficult team to beat in 2024, and they suited up for what is going to be a very hard schedule for them, at least on paper, for this coming year. The Texans are going to be very good, guys. Sure, the record maybe they don't get the 13 wins people are talking about. Maybe they don't even get the 12 wins some people are talking about. But this Houston Texans team at, let's say, 10-7, sure, same record as this last year. But this year's 10-7 team is a lot better than last year's 10-7 team. The AFC is loaded with talent, with influx of players. It is the best conference in football compared to the NFC. It is going to be hell trying to get out of the AFC, but I have full confidence that our Houston Texans can be that team. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. Yeah, have a blessed day.